Hi, I'm Mia, and I'm finally recreating a Zara Larsson look. But yeah, I know I'm like 2 months late to this whole ordeal, but c'est la vie. This is the look I'm gonna be recreating today. I know it's not very Zara Larsson-y, but the other one that I absolutely adored has very bright pink eyeshadow and a lot of rhinestones, and I don't feel like A, doing all those rhinestones, B, having stained lids tomorrow. And it's late. And I do like doing a colorful eyeliner. And again, it's still colorful, it's still fun. I hate the process of gluing rhinestones. I'm gonna be so honest here. So yeah. But I'm gonna first start off with the Blend Bunny X May Paint Rodin palette. And I'm gonna go in with the shade Neo, just because the palette that I primarily plan on using doesn't have a good pale peach shade. So we're gonna absolutely pack that in the inner corner, and we're really just gonna hope for the best here. It will obviously come to fruition a little more once the other shades are down and gives it a little more contrast, but I like doing these colors, not these colors, but like this in the brow bone first, because then it will also give me a placement of where everything will belong. I will also probably switch this brush because this isn't going to be good to put up here. And then it's also going to go in the brow bone. I'm also going to be honest, I don't know boo about Zara Larsson. I know. Where am I? I know she has that Stateside song that Alyssa Liu skated to, and I know she has that Midnight Sun thing, but I know that everybody's thrilled about her makeup because it's like, oh my god, you know, fun makeup is back, blah 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 blah. Realistically, you just weren't looking hard enough, but in a more mainstream sense, someone is wearing more fun makeup again. So it's along that front too. But just gonna pack. I will probably go in with more of the shade after I do everything else, but again, I want little bits of base down. And then I'm gonna go in with the Beauty Bay Bright Matte 42 color palette, if I can get this open. And I'm gonna go in with the shade Livin' for Lavender. I also saw that Beauty Bay has apparently had shut down their website and now has been sold to French people. So, not so fun, not so slay. As my brother says, he does not respect the French, and this is not the right color to go in with. I'm also going to mix in a little bit of White Lies just to brighten this up a little, but not the color should have used. But no, it is Tuesday, March 10th. I was supposed to have a Uniqlo interview today, and I emailed the guy last night and this morning, and he never answered me. So I was like, oh hey, I'm like, something came up, I'm like, I really need to reschedule this, blah 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 blah. I'm like, just timing, blah blah blah, and never got a response from him. So I don't want him to feel like that I'm, you know, like, oh my god, didn't show up, no call, no show for an interview, blah blah blah. Like I said, I emailed him last night. No, not even last night, yesterday morning. Because like I said, I've been feeling weird for the past few days, and I'm like, I'd rather be safe than sorry in case this does develop into being sick. So, I was like, oh, I want to be, you know, not risking your employees, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, rude. But whatever, if I don't get it rescheduled, it's not going to be the end of the world. I don't care that much. Like, I do, but I don't. But I was with the dog today. Evil, awful. My parents did... She's not entirely like an employee, but somebody they know from one of the breweries got laid off. So she's like, you know, looking for work, and they're like, hey, wink wink, nudge nudge. So she actually might work the weekend, which means Bridget might not be alone all day because my brother might be home. And at the same time, it makes sense for him to not work the weekend, because lacrosse practice started today. because I woke up at 4:30 with a dog who threw up on my pants. So that was fun. He was getting all of his stuff and then came back upstairs because he forgot his lacrosse ball before he left. But yeah. And I'm also gonna go in with some of Bobbin along with a mix of Pacific Dreams to start creating that blue liner. I don't have any blue eyeliners, whether liquid or like pencil, so we are gonna make do. And I could have bust out the Inglot for this, but I really do not care all that much. I know. I really don't. My manager texted yesterday. She's like, oh my god, everyone needs to start bringing stuff up. I'm like, oh my god, that's kind of a manager problem, except you're in Michigan. And so I texted the kid who was on yesterday and today. I'm like, did they get everything? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh. I'm like, shit balls. Okay. For some reason I had a really invasive thought of, oh my god, what if it's actually been Wednesday this entire time? But I remember texting the kid this morning and be like, hey, did they bring everything up yesterday? And he's like, yeah. So he wouldn't have known that if he wasn't there like he was scheduled to. So it's just paranoia. I don't know why, but I feel like I've had longer days off. Like, I feel like I've had a longer time off than I usually do, even though it's my same 3 days. But I have a 3-day work week next week, hopefully. I don't know, because my manager hasn't sent a schedule. And if she puts me on Tuesday, I'm gonna cry because I have a nail appointment. And that would basically mean I would have to figure out when to do my nails after work, hopefully. But I don't know what time I'm gonna be out, so I might not be able to do that. But I can't even say like, oh my god, I'll be able to do it, before my trip, because I'm like, my train's at 1:40. No, 1:10. So, if I had to do it Saturday, I could always change it. Either way. It's just one of those things, I'm like, I have no clue of what would be happening. I'm gonna text my manager probably Thursday, be like, hey, just a reminder, I'm like, I'll be here for the rest of the week. I'm like, if you want to send a schedule, I'll get it dealt with, blah, blah, blah. And she'll be like, oh my god, completely forgot. I'll be like, I know. And then I'm gonna go in with a little rounded brush of the same mix of shades, just so I can kind of press underneath. Again, this is also why I want to do the peach first, because that's where the liner's going. But yeah, it was 74 degrees today, or it is 74 degrees. Disgusting. So Bridget and I did take an outside walk. We went in the driveway because she still doesn't have the rest of her shots. Those will be the 19th, so by the time I get home, she should be able to be going outside on like proper walks where other dogs have walked. This is just a wet Q-tip with some micellar water. And I'm just gonna... I'm gonna need to redo that. But we hung out in the driveway. She still didn't adore being outside, but she didn't hate it as much as she usually did, so small wins. And then I carried her. I should have just gotten her. Stupid. Whatchamacallit? Sling. But we did take a walk around the block. We saw a few people and a few cars, and she was like kind of eyeing things, going. So again, progress. She's still not thrilled with the whole, again, outside idea, but I'm just kind of reinforcing the peach. But she's getting a little better about it, which is good because she needs to. And my friend was saying, she's like, oh my god, she's like, I need to come meet the dog. I'm like, well, once she has all of her shots, I'm like, we can like do a little Boston Common trip. She's like, oh my god, she's like, you don't want me out of your house? I'm like, not particularly, no. Nothing against her, but I'm like, the house is a mess. I'm like, I don't want people there seeing how I live, you know? Alright, this is going to be it for eyes. I need to go find some lashes. It does look like there's like a little strip of blue eyelash with, you know, the regular lashes. Not happening. I don't have, like I said, I don't have a liquid blue. And I'm not cutting up and ruining a piece of my lashes for that. So, alas. Which is also why I kind of wanted to make the blue liner a little bigger than the picture. But I need to find some lashes. I should be back in a second. Alright, hi, I'm back with lashes. I dillied and I dallied. Because I don't really like how this looks and I kind of regret not doing hot pink and rhinestones. But again, I didn't want to be stained pink and I didn't want to go through the process of rhinestones. But I did reschedule my interview. I'm doing it next Tuesday, which is good because I have a nail appointment. My nail appointment is right by the place anyways. So I changed the time of the nail appointment because originally I was doing 9:30 like a heathen. Now I'm gonna do it at 11 with my interview at 1, and that way I'll be home by 3. I don't know if I really need to be able to do my makeup next Tuesday. Because this will get me for the Tuesday I'm in New York. So obviously I still want... No, this will get me the Friday when I get home. Yeah. But also I want at least an extra few buffer days. So, alas. This is from NYX Professional Makeup. This is the Plump Right Back Serum Primer. I'm almost out of this. I did actually run out of my Polish Choice moisturizer the other day. So, again, that really tells you how much I actually use it. I do thankfully have another one. Because they sent me another one semi-recently and I didn't open it because I'm like, oh. You know, I have one. I'll just keep it on hand. And now, look at me. But yeah, I did actually go out into the world yesterday. It was beautiful, fantastic, 10 out of 10. And then we did end up bringing Bridget to Home Depot because we needed to get a few things and she needs, again, socialization and just not be totally scared of the world. So, she has a little puppy sling that I got to carry around Home Depot. And I'm like, great. I'm like, I already don't like Home Depot. Now I have a dog with me. And then I'm also going to go in with the Danessa Myricks Beauty Yummy Skin Glow Serum in the shade Main Squeeze to get that kind of bronzed sun-kissed look she has going on. In a lot of looks, sorry. I have a pimple forming. Not so fun. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned it. My brother had the gnarliest pimple on his, like, this part of his nose the other day. To the point that I went through, like, 4 pimple patches with him in the span of a day. Because put it on before he went to sleep, took it off, left a hole in his nose. It was disgusting. It was beautiful. So changed it, and then, because it was like 8 o'clock and then he was on the truck that day, so I'm like, I'm going to change it before you go, that way it's not too overly goopy, when you're, you know, face to face with people. And then I did it when he got home, and then the next morning he was fine. Hopefully the hole in his nose is closed. I haven't seen him in light. I know it's a very odd thing, but oh, it's the most beautiful pimple I've seen pulled ever. He gets a lot of those. He had one on his back once that I put a patch on because it was like painful for him. It was so disgusting, but it was so worth it. And then I'm going in with the Haus Labs Trichlone Skin Tech Foundation in 70 Fair Neutral. Because I know there's not a lot of blue. But again, blue does not like my skin or my camera. So something a little peachier than I would usually want. Should hopefully work. But I have a really bad habit of losing lip balms on Thursdays. Because I lost my Marin Strawberry Rhubarb lip balm. I'm assuming 7-Eleven because I had it when I left the house, and then I didn't have it when I got to the store. So the only places were the Train and 7-Eleven. So I went, I did order, I did reorder a new one. I just got the unscented one because I hated that strawberry rhubarb scent. And it already got there. Shout out TikTok shop for, you know, 3-day shipping. So I I have an Aquaphor that is now delegated to my pocket lip balm because I got it free in a CVS bag once. I don't even remember how or why I got like a free bag of makeup from them. It had like one of the NYX eyeliners, it had some skincare stuff, and an Aquaphor lip balm. And I don't like the Aquaphor lip balm, but I'm not ever bringing a fancy lip balm out into the world again. Not with the way they treat me. Lip balms hate me and they want to see me suffer. Also, I don't know what's going on with all this facial redness. Like, it's painful almost. Did I get a little sunburn? I wasn't even outside that long, maybe 20 minutes. That'd be really funny if it was a sunburn though. But just doing a soft second layer over the redness and my pimple. Because she's evil and awful and hates me. And that's going to be a slightly weird place to put a patch too. So I'm going to have to wait until after I'm like done with Eden and stuff. And this is from Win Beauty by Serena Williams. This is the Nothing to See Soft Matte Creamy Concealer in Extend 45. Just doing a little bit because the reference photo doesn't look like she has too much like brightening going on. So just going to do it under the eyes and just a little here and here. But I can't wait to see how the store looks when I go in tomorrow, and I'm like, oh. I really need my manager to put out the schedule because I don't know if she's gonna want me to open Monday, Tuesday to counteract the kid need and to open for me for like the rest of the week. But at the same time, that's gonna put me in overtime. Mostly because of my time off, so I don't know if how that works. Like if I have PTO and then I work say 36 hours, will some of the PTO be paid as overtime, or is it just going to be two separate things? I don't know. But also, if she puts me on Monday or Tuesday, I will be working from Wednesday to Tuesday. No, I would have been working from the 13th to the 20th the 11th to the 20th with no days off, so I don't think she's gonna do that. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because like I said, I'm working on Sunday, so I don't think she'd do that. Would she? But I'm gonna go in with some of the OIS Beauty No Limits Cream Bronzer and Contour Stick in the shade Hope, because again, a little bit of sun-kissed, a little bit of everything. Oh, so I don't know if I mentioned it. No, because I've been editing, so I would have seen it. But I had bought, obviously before my November trip, I had bought a Little Shop of Horrors ticket for March. Because I'm like, oh, I didn't get to see it in July, blah, 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 blah. But I ended up seeing it in November. And I was like, oh, you know, and again, this was before my friend was like, oh my god, I'll come with you, and I'll be like, oh my god, slay. It's just the Sunday nights. But, so, you know, I'm like, you know, I'm gonna sell it. I'm like, I don't need to see it twice. I'm like, I love it, but I'm like, unless they're having Jonathan Groff come back, I don't need to see it again. So, sold it. Yeah, it's Jeremy Fisher that's gonna be Seymour. I'm like, you're right. But you know, I sold it on this app called Theater, I think? I don't know. But the website that I used to buy it, Telecharge, doesn't send the tickets out until like 3 days before the performance. So I couldn't transfer it, and I texted the girl, I'm like, hey, this is what's up. She didn't respond to me. The app took away my ability to message her. I went, oh shit. Like, am I just texting a ghost? Is this a scam? Blah, 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 blah. And then this is from Patrick Ta. This is the Double Take Cream and Powder Blush in the shade She's That Girl. Definitely putting some of this on the nose. A shout out to Sophie, the makeup artist, because nobody does nose blush anymore and it's rude. But let me look at the texts first. I texted her January 7th about when I sold it. I'm like, hey, I know my note said that Telecharge doesn't, you know, transfer them until 3 days before, but you know, want to remind you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, she didn't answer me until Friday, which was March 6th. So, like, I was starting to panic because I'm like, girl, I'm like, this is literally in a few weeks. What do you mean? And like, she answered me, obviously. She's like, oh my god, so sorry, blah blah. She's like, I'm still, you know, really excited, blah blah. I'm like, yeah, you should be. I'm like, you get Jeremy Fisher, you rat bastard. Again, wouldn't be seeing it anyways because I have someone with me and I wasn't gonna buy a second ticket. And again, it's one of those things. I'm like, unless Jonathan Groff is coming back. I love me Jonathan Groff. I had a dream about him once, and he was in a pinstripe suit and in Target, and also a Trump financial advisor, and I'm like, my brother in Christ, none of these words make sense together. I text my friend, they're like, what? I'm like, don't question me. I'm like, I can't stop my dreams. Oh, I had a weird dream. Oh, just like a weird stalker situation I had a dream of. So, not like fun, but like I remember, like I only remember it now because like I came upstairs and I'm like opening my door, I'm like, something happened last time I opened my bedroom door. I'm like, oh, there's a strange man in there. Dream, not real life. Duh. Yeah, look at all that redness I covered up just to bring her back. And like, you can tell the redness peeking through because like, it's looking a little purple almost. And like, obviously that is not the shade issue because this has no... Okay. Okay. Thank God. And then I'm just going to do a little whatever is left on the concealer brush to kind of... Yeah. Sorry, the Boston Globe is emailing me. I really don't care. And then this is from Fenty Beauty. This is the Demi Glow Light Diffusing Highlighter in the shade Pretty Pearls. Also, shout out again to Sophie for like actually putting so much highlighter everywhere. It's beautiful, fantastic. Doesn't look like there's any on the lip, so I will survive. Contrary to popular belief, but then I'm going a little ham, not gonna lie. And then after this, I think I actually might go in with the powder side of the blush. Really get it up in there. But yeah. The nose highlighter looks a little ridiculous, but that's kind of the intensity it is in the photos. And then this is just the powder blush side of the blush. I know, who would have thought? The powder blush side of the blush that I just said I was going to use. I'm sorry. Bring this up a little, mostly because my bangs are going to cover it, so it doesn't really matter. And then I did have to go searching through my lip liners, because I don't have that many actually. But I think I found one that matches the lip liner. This is from Kaleidos Makeup. This is the Sculpting Lip Pencil in the shade Sauce. This is kind of like a mauvey brown. So, gonna... Okay. This looks a lot more red than it did on my hand. Not so fun. Not so fresh. I don't think I like this formula that much, actually. I think I'm also going to go in with the brown. And then this is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the lip liner in Deep Taupe. I know. Who could have foreseen this? But it will deepen it up and it will bring a little more cold brown into this. See, there we go. That's what I needed. And then, like usual, I'm just going to blend this a little. Just a little. Oh, the Amtrak. I didn't even get the email first. I checked my Amtrak tickets to make sure it's still, you know, she's still there. She's still existing. Yada, yada, yada. Especially with my trip in a week and a half now. I mean, when this is uploaded, I will be on my trip or just home from my trip. Just home from my trip. I'm going to take some of the Patrick Top blush and use that for the middle because that looks a little peachy, but I don't know, so we're just gonna do this. But you know, I checked. I'm like, why am I in a back row in one of the two-seaters? So I'm like, hello? So I changed it because I'm like, I booked a window seat at a table. I'm getting a window seat at a table. And then, because I was like, looking, I'm like, wow, my seat doesn't even exist in this train car. What the hell? Then I saw a notification at the bottom of my ticket. It's like, oh, like the physical train itself changed because of equipment, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, whatever. Then they sent me an email. Then they sent me 2 notifications in the app, and then they sent me 2 texts all within the span of like 15 minutes after I changed my seat. I'm like, I think we're good. I know. I saw. And somebody did book the seat across from me, but diagonal. So it's not directly next to me, unlike the freak last time. I don't know what's on with their heads. And then I'm going to go in with the Buxom Cosmetics Plump Shot Collagen Infused Lip Serum in the shade Filler, because it looks like she has glossy lips, but not overly glossy, and this is like balmy glossy. So again, still glossy, but not overly so. I hate the peppermint sensation because I hate plumping things. But this never actually plumps, so I don't know what's on there. Alright, I need to go fix my bangs, but I should be back in a second. Alright, and this is the finished look. Honestly, kinda hate it, not gonna lie. And it could just be because it's not so overly Zara Larsson-y that I'm just like, I'm not seeing it, even though, again, this is something that her makeup artist posted a few days ago, obviously with her on it, with the makeup on. Like, again, I feel like I wouldn't dislike it so much if I just came up with this on my own, was just like, oh yeah, throwing stuff together. But because she's so used to like the shimmers and the rhinestones, but again, the one look of hers that I'm like, oh my god, I really, really like this, was very overly like bright pink, and I'm like, I don't even think I have an eyeshadow of that color, let alone blush that matches it. So just more of also what I have. Again, it's not totally awful, it's just not speaking to me in any sorts of ways. So yeah. But like everything besides this, besides the eyes really, I like how everything came together base wise and cheeks and lips. It's so funny how color theory works, because that lip liner was an entirely different shade on my hand, and then it was whatever you want to call it on my lips.